Hello and thanks for joining me. I am so happy to kick off the 2018-2019 opera season with an opera chat. I saw the first opera of the season for me last weekend, and I had actually intended to upload an opera hall video. I did this last year and sort of described the operas that I was planning on seeing this season, but my schedule being as hectic as it's been lately, I did not get that video uploaded, so I think it's just going to be a surprise when I upload. I'll actually talk a bit about what's coming up at Virginia Opera. I subscribed this year to some operas at the Washington National Opera and also the Virginia Opera, because here where I live, it's just a wealth of opera, and I don't even have the budget to see all the opera that there is available to see in this area, but I am seeing some good stuff, and I saw I saw a fantastic opera last weekend, which was Kurt Weill's Street Scene. But just a bit about Virginia Opera. They actually put out this really cool graphic every year of their opera season. They do, I think it's 4 operas, and I'm going to be seeing all of the Virginia Opera operas this year, productions. So here's the graphic for Street Scene. There's the graphic, actually, kind of 1940s American. I'll talk a bit about it here in a bit. Then I'm going to be, later on, I'll be Don Giovanni. Here we go, Don Giovanni by Mozart. And then I got the Elixir of Love, one of my favorites. I haven't ever seen any of these. Well, actually, I've seen Madama Butterfly. I've actually seen Madama Butterfly live. It is the only opera from last season, I believe, that I saw at Washington National Opera and did not chat, oddly enough. So I will be chatting that later in the season when I see that. But yeah, back to Street Scene by Kurt Weill. There is the program. Here's my ticket. There you go, Street Scene. Here is the kind of the title page, I guess. Street Scene. This had its premiere back in 1946 in Philadelphia, kind of for a trial run, but its big premiere was on Broadway in 1947. The libretto, it's written the music's by Kurt Weill, like I mentioned. It's based on a play by Elmer, which won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama, and the lyrics are by none other than Langston Hughes. Yes, that Langston Hughes, the noted Harlem Renaissance writer, Langston Hughes. So this opera wound up winning a Tony in 1947 for original score. Kurt Weill won for the original score. So this opera is kind of a mix. It's a mix of opera and lots of different musical styles, American sort of musical styles. It's known as the American opera. So, I was really kind of curious. This is the second Kurt Weill opera that I've seen. A couple of years ago, I saw The Seven Deadly Sins, also performed at Virginia Opera. So here is the cast. It's a really, really big cast. It's like 30 plus people. So I'm not going to name them all. The conductor's Adam Turner. The director was Dorothy Danner. And according to the bio here in the program, she is related to Blythe Danner, the actress, and Gwyneth Paltrow. So not sure what that relation is, but nevertheless, she was the director for this production. And there is the cast, and then it continues on over here. Yeah, a lot of cast, big cast. This all takes place in like 1940s-ish New York City on a front stoop of a sort of an apartment building, like a walk-up. Kind of a really, I would say, kind of a lower income walk-up. And this front stoop, the people who live in the building, as well as sort of the neighbors, in the neighborhood, we get to know. It actually mainly centers around several core families of people that live in the building. And so let me see. Let me just see. The main family, I guess, is the Morant family. This is a husband. The husband's sort of an unhappy kind of, man who is sort of ill-tempered, and I would say just sort of difficult. And then his sort of sweet wife, you know, and then he has a couple of kids. Willie, who's this young boy, sort of mischievous boy that's sort of running around getting into stuff, and then a young woman daughter named Rose. And so have you ever heard the one about the milkman and the unhappy wife? That street scene. So Mrs. Morant is an unhappy wife. You know, she had she sings an aria sort of at the beginning of the opera that, you know, she thought life was going to turn out different for her, you know, and so she finds herself now sort of unhappy. Her husband, everyone in the building sort of seems to be trying to escape from some sort of, you know, unhappiness in life, and she's taken up with the milkman. Well, all, you know, in a building, in an apartment building, everyone knows this. So when the opera starts, it's like this heat wave. So, you know, no air conditioning, of course. So everyone's sort of out in the street, and they're just complaining about the heat and whatnot. You know, but they're gossipy. You know, they're sort of gossipy about this woman and her relationship with the milkman, among other things. There's other things, other sort of life drama going on in the building. There's a woman having a baby. There is a family who are going to be evicted the next day, and this family, it's a woman, I think her husband's left her or something, she didn't have any money to pay, and her daughter has just won an academic award at school that everybody's really happy about. The daughter of the woman, the unhappy wife who's having the affair with the milkman, whose name is Rose, she's got sort of a boss that's, you know, Me Too movement, you know, the Me Too movement now here that's going on. Her boss is really, you know, sexually harassing her, like big time. And, you know, so she's got that going on. Then there's a boy in the building that really loves her, who's in school, really a bookish guy. There's a family, you know, the Jones family, I think they are. And the woman there, she's real gossipy and judgmental of everybody else. But, you know, her husband's an alcoholic. Her daughter's kind of fast and runs pretty quick, runs pretty fast. And then her son is another one of these, like, harassers, bullies, you know, comes on really aggressive to women, to Rose. I think he's driving a cab or something. But anyway, you know, so it's this drama going on around in this family. You know, there's a lot of, the cool thing about this opera, though, was that it was part opera and part musical. I think, you know, Kurt Weill really wanted to integrate opera, like European opera, with American musicals. So the American musical style of American musicals. And so part of the opera, you know, is operatic. And from what I read, you know, influenced by Puccini, actually, the music of Puccini. So part of it's operatic. There's swing elements in it. There's jazz elements. There's blues elements. And then there's just, you know, like a musical, song and dance numbers, you know, like you would see, you know, in a Broadway musical. And so I thought that was really cool. It does feel really American, especially this period of the 40s with the swing and whatnot. There's actually a swing sequence, a dance sequence of swing. With the production that I saw, this swing sequence was so cool. They did such a great job of that. Of course, I really like the swing music, you know, and they jitterbug and stuff out in the street. It's just really, that was really a lot of fun. There's an English National Opera production of this. I think it's English National Opera on YouTube that I have watched, and I think the May character in that, who's this sort of fast daughter of, you know, the gossipy woman, she's the one. She and her romantic interest are the one who do this swing dance, and I think that the version, I mean, the production that I saw at Virginia Opera, I think that swing version was actually better than the one at the English National Opera. And from what I read, May at the English National Opera was played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. I'm not sure that's true. So I'm not sure. You know, take that with a grain of salt, because I didn't fact check that. I just read that somewhere. But anyway, that is available on YouTube if you do want to see it. This opera is in English. Now, it's sung, mostly operatically. Most of the music is operatic singing, so it's in a higher register and a deeper register, and so it's sometimes more difficult to understand. The version of the English National Opera that I saw on YouTube did not have subtitles. You could still sort of understand the lyrics, but I think they're probably available to find if you look for them. Yeah, so what else did I want to say about this? I just, I really liked it. I mentioned, I really liked this idea of this sort of melting pot. It's supposed to, Kurt Weill, from what I read, he really wanted to, illustrate the American melting pot of music and of people. And Mr. Morant, who's the husband of the woman the unhappy wife who's having the affair with the milkman, so he sings at one point about he wants things to be the way they were. He wants an America that he thinks no longer exists, and so he goes off on an anti-immigrant sort of tirade, and so do some of the other neighbors, some of whom are immigrants, like Italians and Swedish of the period. So yeah, I thought that was kind of timely, as well as the definitely the sexual harassment of poor Rose in the job, and also just trying to walk down the street with this guy, coming on to her all the time. Anyway, I thought that was kind of timely for what the current cultural sort of vibe is right here, right now. What else? The rest of the story. So there's not really spoilers in opera, but the whole story about the wife, having the affair with the milkman, the husband suspects this, and ultimately, does find out about it, and it doesn't end well for either the milkman or the wife. He shoots them both and kills them both. But I think I really felt a sympathy for him somehow in the production that I saw. Anyway, maybe it was the way it was portrayed in the production that I saw, but he just seemed like an unhappy person. And actually, most people in this that live in this building are sort of living these sort of quiet lives of desperation in one way or another, and they're seeking escape in one way or another. Like the gossipy woman, she seeks her escape from her unhappy family in judging others, right? And the sort of fast daughter, she's a good time girl, right? She's just trying to have fun, live and have fun and dance and stuff. And the sort of the smart guy that's in love with Rose, the daughter of the unhappy wife, he's a bookish guy, right? So he kind of escapes into his books. And Rose, the daughter of the unhappy wife who has the boss who's sexually harassing her, she really wants to escape. So when her mother is killed, her father is taken away by the police. He sings, to her, I loved her too. It's just the circumstances, right? And she wants to escape that life. Can she though? Because with the life she's trying to escape is not just the life of the tenement, it's the life that everyone needs to work through themselves. And so I'm not sure that leaving the tenement or leaving the apartment building is necessarily going to be the best fix for her, but I hope it worked out for her. And that's sort of how the opera ends, on this hopeful note that she's leaving and she's going to go try to make a different life for herself somewhere. So anyway, I loved the opera. I'm a huge Kurt Weill fan now. I didn't love the Seven Deadly Sins at first, but now that I've seen this opera, I've gone back and listened to that again, and now I think I might get Kurt Weill a little bit. Kurt Weill, I think I might get his operas now, whereas I don't know that I really got what his operas previously. But anyway, I enjoyed this one a lot with all of its various musical elements in it. And actually, last night I also saw another opera. I had two back-to-back weekends of opera. Last night I saw La Traviata at Washington National Opera, so I will have a opera chat on La Traviata coming up very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, take care. Bye.